Hey guys, so today we are going to put all of the different things about quadratics that we've talked about the last couple weeks into some application problems. So we're going to talk about what happens when an object falls. So I want you to pause the video after I explain this. You're going to do a little experiment. I want you to take two objects, one of which is not a piece of paper, so maybe something like your calculator and a book. And I want you to drop them at the exact same time and see which one hits the ground first, okay? Then maybe try a different object, maybe your calculator and a box of cereal. Drop them from the same height and see which one hits the ground first. Okay, so pause, try that little experiment, and then come back. Okay, so what should have happened is that when they fell, they were falling at the exact same time and they hit the ground at the same time. So that happens because of the way gravity affects an object falling. So we got a little bit of science in here today. So when an object is dropped, the speed which it falls continues to increase. So ignoring air resistance, meaning like a piece of paper. A piece of paper, if you were to drop that, it is affected by air. Something like a feather, that's going to be a little different because it is, again, affected by air. But otherwise, if we ignore air resistance, its height can be approximated by h equals negative 16t squared plus s. And so this is going to be throughout all of these different dropped objects, this is the formula we're going to get. So what do all these pieces mean? Well, h is our height. So this is our height here. And so we're trying to figure out the height of an object in relationship to time. So t is our time. And then s stands for our starting height, so our initial height. So just like any other equation we've been working with the whole year, whatever is our constant value at the end, that tells us where we are starting. So an object is going to fall based on where it starts. So if it's 6 feet in the air, it'd be plus 6. If it's 12 feet in the air, plus 12. We're always going to have a positive number there. The height is going to be above ground, right? If the height was 0, we would be at ground level, right? 0 height means we are at the ground. So let's look at an example here. So it says a monkey drops an orange from a branch 26 feet above the ground. The force of gravity causes the orange to fall towards the earth. And the function is h equals negative 16 t squared plus 26, where h is the height after t seconds. So this is telling us, so we could see how tall is the orange, or how high is the orange after 1 second, after 5 seconds, after half a second. Okay, so what is the height of the orange when it starts? Well, the orange is 26 feet off the ground. Okay, so it's 26 feet above ground. So imagine a monkey in a tree. So what is the height of the orange after? Not sure what sound I'm hearing there. What is the height of the orange after 1 second? So 1 is talking about time. So we're going to substitute 1 in for t. And it says first, use the graph to estimate. So around 1 second, that's about 10. So maybe something around 10 feet. Now let's find out what the actual height is using our equation. So if we do negative 16 times 1 squared plus 26, we want to figure out what is the height after 1 second. So when we do that, we are going to get negative 16 plus 26, which means that it is 10 feet in the air. So that orange after 1 second is 10 feet above the ground. Okay, what about the next one? How long will it take for the orange to hit the ground? Well, the orange is at the ground when the height is 0. So anytime it asks you for something hitting the ground, it's always asking where h equals 0. Or in our graph here, where do we hit the x-axis? So that is about 1.5, 1.75 based on my graph. So I'm going to guess 1.7, let's say. So I want to figure out where h equals 0. So I need to substitute 0 in for h. So 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 26. So I now need to solve for t. So we need to now use our different skills that we've learned to solve for quadratics. So that's factoring, using the square root, and the quadratic function. So those are our 3 methods. Since I do not have a b value, I'm going to use the square root method. So I'm going to subtract 26 from both sides. So I get negative 26 equals negative 16t squared. I divide both sides by negative 16, and that's going to simplify to 13 over 8 equals t squared. And I'm going to take the square root of both sides, and t equals plus or minus 1.275. But let's think about this. With every single application problem that we're working with throughout the rest of this unit, we want to think, does it make sense in a real setting? Well, is it possible to have a negative time? T stands for time. Are we going to go backwards? No. We're always going to have a positive value. So it's only going to be 1.275 seconds. So that is our final answer here. Again, only the positive. And one thing I want to mention is that this equation up here, h equals negative 16 t squared plus s, this is only if an object is dropping. We're going to talk later about what happens if you throw an object, because that's going to be affected by gravity a little bit differently. So let's try a couple more examples here. So the next one says an engineering student is in an egg drop contest. The goal is to create a container for an egg so that it can be dropped from a height of 32 feet without breaking. To the nearest tenth, how long will the egg's container take to hit the ground? Okay, so we know what the starting height is, and as we know from our equation, s is the starting height. So all I need to say is that h equals negative 16t squared plus 32. So all we're doing is substituting in our starting height. Not too bad, right? I apologize for the lighting today. I'm in a different room, so I apologize, the lighting's a little weird. So it asks when it will hit the ground. Well, again, ground is always asking when does h equal 0. So all I need to do is set this equal to 0. So 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 32. I subtract 32 from both sides, so I get negative 32 equals negative 16t squared. I'll divide both sides by negative 16. And so t squared equals 2. I take the square root of both sides, and I have to be careful because, again, I only want the positive value. So if I only take the positive, well, the square root of 2 is 1.4. I don't need plus or minus. It's just going to be t equals 1.4 seconds. And oh my goodness, that is not easy to read. Let's mess with the exposure a little bit there. Let's see if that helps. Yeah, a little bit. Now it's just darker. Sorry guys, bear with me. Okay. So, again, anytime an asteroid hits the ground, we just set it equal to 0. So what about if you drop a rock off a cliff that's 256 feet, we'll say that's feet, above the water? How long will it take for the rock to hit the water? Well, water, anytime we're talking about that, we'll say that is in the ground level. So that would be 0 here. So we will say that h equals negative 16t squared plus 256. So again, we always just add our initial height there because we are 256 feet off the ground. So since we know when it hits the water or the ground, we have 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 256. And we subtract 256 from both sides, so negative 256 equals negative 16t squared. We divide both sides by 16, and we get 16 equals t squared. Take the square root of both sides. This is nice, we have perfect square, so t equals 4 seconds. Again, we're not going to worry about the negative option because we're not working backwards in time. Okay, 2 more examples. And man, oh man, I gotta figure out what is happening with the light here, so I apologize. Let's see if that's any better. Okay, you can't see me as well, but we're gonna say that's fine. That's more important for you to see the work. Okay, so find the exact length of the side of a square with an area of 60 inches squared. So if we have a square, both sides are the same, right? So x and x, they're going to be the same, 2 and 2, 7 and 7, whatever that may be. So to find my area is length times width. Well, I know my area is 60 because it tells me right here, and my length is x, and my width is x. So I have 60 equals x squared. Oh my goodness, we are just having a lighting issue today. I don't know what is happening. adjust this again. Let's go there. Okay, maybe a little bit better. Okay, so now we're going to take the square root of both sides. And the square root of 60 is 7.75. But we have to be careful because it asks for the exact answer. So we don't want to just take the square root. We need, and plug into our calculator, we need to simplify. So the square root of 60. Okay, let's see. What are perfect squares that go into 60? Well, 60 can be split into, let's see, 4 and 15. So let's do that. So the square root of 4 and the square root of 15. So the exact answer is 2 square root of 15. And again, it's only going to be positive because we can't have a negative side length. That's not possible. Okay? And last example here. So the area of a triangle is 288 inches squared. The height of the triangle is 4 times the length of the base. Find the base of the triangle. So let's draw a picture. So our area we know is 1/2 base times height for a triangle. So I have a triangle and it says the height is 4 times the base. So if my base is b, I can just say my height is 4 times b. This is obviously not drawn to scale, but that's okay. And so now I have the parts to add or plug into my formula. So I have 288 is my area times 1/2. My base is b, and my height is 4b. Okay, so now I just need to multiply everything through and solve for b. So 288 equals 1/2 times 4 is going to give me 2. And b times b is b squared. I divide both sides by 2. So I have 144 equals b squared. I take the square root of both sides, and b equals 12. And we're working with inches here. So b equals 12 inches. So again, guys, when we're working with these falling objects and application problems, we are always going to have h equals negative 16t squared plus s if it is falling. If we're throwing the object, that's a different formula, and we're going to work on that later. And remember, we're always looking for the time or the height, and s is our initial height. So it asks you how many seconds it's going to take. We're solving for t. If it asks you for the height after a certain amount of seconds, we're looking for h. So that is all we have for today. Have a great rest of your day, guys.